Hello my cakesters, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and comment. Follow me on all socials at _Kimberly_, and let's get straight into this video. So firstly, this video is for persons that are registering their business for the very first time. And I also put some few pointers for persons that are already registered and want the business bank account. So first things first, you're going to go on Companies of Jamaica website. Yes, there is a website for you to go on. So Companies of Jamaica, you go ahead and reserve the business name. This is where the name can either be rejected or accepted. And you're probably like, it's just a business name. How is it gonna be rejected? But let me give you guys some insight to that. Personally, I've experienced once the business name is too popular. For example, my first business name was Kim's Natural Beauty. Natural Beauty was where the problem lied. It had two popular names. So you know, normally whenever anybody's doing anything organic and natural, they would say natural, and beauty is quite repetitive and within the beauty field, because as you know, Ash is in the beauty field. So that name was completely flat. When you're picking a business name, ensure that it's a name that you can align with throughout the brand. For example, if you're going to do skincare, do not name the business Turmeric Soaps by Kim, because you won't always be making turmeric soaps alone. There's a possibility for you to expand your horizon. So how about, let's use ChatGPT. You know, she's my best friend. So you're going to go in ChatGPT. This is for the tech savvy people. They're going to say, give me a business name. I sell clothes and I want a unique name. Let's specify it some more. I sell travel/vacay clothes. Okay, so I prompt that in chat, and prompt went ahead and say jet suit hue. That is so pond upon, because you know you have jet smart, jet blue. That's very pundy. I like that one. The next option is going to be escape edit, and I literally see for this logo already a plane, a globe, and you know, probably a hanger clothes on it. The vision, yeah, you know, you have a little graphic designer vision for see it, but must see the vision. There is also one called Soul and Suitcase. So whenever you're picking a business name, it needs to be unique. It needs to be something that you won't get flagged. Your name won't be able to get rejected by Companies of Jamaica, because you want it to be a smooth process. I had to change my business name from Kim's Natural Beauty to Authentic Skin and Hair Care by Kim. That name was approved, thanks be to God, because at the time not much persons were doing skin and hair care. However, I went back recently and I realized that everyone that has a skincare or hair care business, they include it in their name. The chances for that name to be approved in this day and age is very limited, because persons are using the name more and more, causing a flag in the system. So what you can do, if you have a business idea, you go ahead, prompt it into ChatGPT as you saw me do, so you can go ahead and get a unique business name. So once that name is approved, you have to go to Companies of Jamaica. Yes, I know government place takes up quite some time, and if you watch my vlogs, you would know I've been there for probably 3 weeks straight trying to sort out one matter. So you're going to go to Companies of Jamaica. I'd advise you to go ahead and print the forms beforehand, or you can go pick up the form and fill it up. So whenever you go back, you just get a number and you patiently sit and wait. Personally, from my experience with opening a new business, because I went ahead and did that sometime this week, I had to sit in there for approximately an hour and a half before my number was called for me to go around and speak with an agent. With the agent, there's not much interaction. All you would do is you give them the form for new business opening. There is a few sections on the papers that are solely for you to fill out. Once you go ahead and you present that and they go over it and say, okay, everything is good to go, please to go to the cashier. The cashier, it really depends. I've been there for 3 weeks straight, so I can tell you the pace at which the cashing process goes. Some days are faster, some days are slower. The max I've been in that line is an hour and a half to cash, and it was simply because it was probably a half day and I went after 12 p.m. So you know, everybody tired from lunch, so probably that's a factor to play into. I'm currently in the process of waiting to go and pick up my certificate. However, I've done this process before. So normally they call or email you to let you know that your business is registered and it's finally time for you to legally operate in Jamaica. This part now is some pro tips that I'm going to give you that I never had the opportunity to get. It kind of made me make a few mistakes, but it built the business that I have today. Whenever you go ahead and decide that you're going to present to the government that you're operating business, you will need to do bookkeeping, stock taking, and of course your business tax. They didn't let me know that I need to do bookkeeping, so if I'm audited tomorrow, I can say, okay, this is what the business is currently making, this is what we have in stock, this is that, and third. So I'm going to go ahead and recommend some bookkeeping apps for you. You just start out, you don't have much capital, cool. You can go ahead and use Square. It's a pretty good one. You can also use Tiny POS. Tiny POS, you can use it to print your receipts or to just simply track your sales. So what I do every single week is, once I restock, I go into Tiny POS and update it as I go along. It also lets you be able to calculate your profit and your loss. So you can input in the system whether or not this is your factor cost, like, okay, I'm selling castor oil, it's $800 for the bottle, but I'm reselling it at $2,000. You put the $800 as your cost, and then you put your selling price. It can pull up a spreadsheet for you anytime to show your current sales, whether yesterday, today, tomorrow, or for the whole entire year. So right there, so you get your bookkeeping done for the free. If you have an iOS, it's $17.99 per month. If you have a Samsung, which I really need to consider because it is free. Also, as business owners, I know that we don't like the Samsung quality. Well, me, I should say. This is also a next key point to note. As a business owner, it is very good to have Samsung device. Anything Google related is good because everything is linked together and most of the apps are free. So what an Apple user would pay, Samsung user would never pay. Point to note. But personally, I'm gonna still be an Apple girl, but that's just a little, maybe I couldn't know. Ensure that you do your stock taking, and as I told you guys, the apps that I would recommend. The next thing is ensure that you get an accountant for your business. I must say, finding the right accountant, it's not the easiest process for me right now because I have to go somewhere where the price I'm paying, it is feasible for the size business that I have. I cannot go to the top of the top right now because the business recently started back. Searching for an accountant, this is totally upon you. You have so much of them on Instagram. I know that there's a popular one called Mona. I use Dynamic Professional Limited, and I also saw Ramsey. I absolutely love Ramsey so far. We've been in dialogue in regards to my business, and I must say 10 out of 10 when it comes down to service and how quick they respond. So I personally would recommend Ramsey. But I haven't worked with Mona. I've worked with Dynamic. Dynamic is good if you're going to go ahead and legally sort out your taxes. I'm good for that. But in regards to like opening an account and such, I would love to do those things on my own because I get a feel of it. And me personally, as a business owner, anyone me can save money, me can save money. So me can do the running up and down. Right? So you have to find an accountant that suits you best. One that is in your budget. One that you think that is working for you. And personally, I'm on the quest to find my perfect accountant. So say that can start get house, car, business credit card and such. So once I find that, I will go ahead and share with you. But I'm currently in dialogue with someone right now. So I'll probably give you an update throughout my vlogs or even a next video like this based upon request. Who do I recommend to do your tax as a first-time business owner or an accountant? That is it when it comes down to registering your business. It doesn't take long. That is why I'm literally doing this video for y'all. I know that it's very convenient at times to pay others, and of course, it's a business, I understand. But if you're starting out and you literally don't have enough money, if you can pay somebody, I did not share the fee with you guys, but it's $2,500 to register your business at Companies of Jamaica. And every make a muck say, people start business to register your business fee. Some of them must say I'll charge $15,000, but something that literally took me a day, because honestly speaking, to register the business took a day, but the things that I need to clear up, it took 3 days. Yeah, it's not that tedious. It's pretty easy once you can read and write. Also, these are documents that you need to use to register your business: your TRN, your passport, your driver's license as a proof of address. Personally, I'd say the best option to go with is your driver's license, as your TRN is already on it, plus your proof of address. So you don't have to walk with no bill payment and them someday just walk with your driver's license. I know not everybody drive, but it's easier to do that in all honesty. But you have the option to use your passport or your TRN. Because if you don't know, as a sole trader, your TRN number is your business TRN. You never know that. That is it in regards to opening your business in Jamaica. I know that you expected a long, tedious process, but nah. Once you can read and write, once you have the time and the patience, you definitely get it all done in a day, and you wait 2 to 3 business days to go ahead and pick up that certificate. Now that you registered the business and such, it's time for us to go ahead and open the bank account. Personally, having a business bank account, I feel like you should get it within the first year because the process is easier. If you don't know, I had Ash for 7 years. The struggle when me have go through to get a business bank account, it was not feasible. First of all, I need to get a TCC. I'd have to pay off all my taxes, which I did, but it was very tedious, if you get me. So first things first, you're going to need a cash flow projection. It is $10,000, which is pretty good. I know that most persons are 20 and up, so if you start out and your capital isn't a lot, I definitely recommend going ahead and checking out Ramsey. You're going to need the business registration certificate because there's a number on it that they'll use to open the bank account. So let me tell you the banks that I'd recommend for a business owner based on years of business and how much time people transfer it to me. I definitely say a Scotia bank account. My friend recently opened one for their business. I use BFG Consulting. Personally, the process was a little bit longer than what I expected. I think I was their first customer, so you know that trial and error type of thing. So with the $15,000, we got the business registration. We also got a business bank account, and the bank was linked to Scotia. But the thing with Scotia is on the website it says it's $0 to register the business. But when the person went to open the account, they had to pay $10,000, which I never understand the terminology of it, but we just worked with it, right? So when I went on NCB, because customers have NCB, because I think NCB is so easy to open. A lot of persons have NCB and Scotia bank account. With NCB, you know, you need your business certificate, your government issued ID, signature, proof of address, proof of income. Those last two are optional. You also need probably a cash flow projection. Based on what I have Googled, it seems as if you don't need it, but it's best to have it. For FGB, which is First Global Bank for sure, you don't need that. First Global Bank, all you need is business certificate, ID, and your signature. That's all you need. They also have a minimum fee of $1,000 to open the account, which is pretty good for me in all honesty. Scotia Bank require a lot. So if you're picking bank, Scotia Bank to me out of all of the 3 banks, it requires a lot. And based on the amount of transactions I've done with customers, I definitely deem NCB and Scotia as my top banks. CIBC isn't as popular in all honesty. My CIBC account came from when I was working at a call center because that's the one that they used to pay us. And I realized that persons that are doing transfers from CIBC, they're not necessarily opening the bank free will. They need it for employment. You get me? So personally, CIBC bank, I wouldn't say it's best for a business bank account because not a lot of persons use it. And you don't want it to be a case where the bank is taking out fees and when you look, the business money that's diminished because the bank is taking fees. So personally, currently, I have an NCB account, so when persons are transferring from Scotia, I'd advise them to add an additional $100. Everybody's okay with it. It's going to be a 1 in a million that's not okay with it. So if you would like, you can get an NCB and a Scotia bank account. So whenever anybody asks, you know you have the two to facilitate. But with getting a bank account, it's pretty easy in all honesty. The hard and tedious part is literally Companies of Jamaica. Companies of Jamaica is very time consuming from personal experience, which is why I guess people pay others to do the service for them. But as I stated earlier, I want to be hands-on in my business. Like, I want to know the steps so that way I don't take any part of the process for granted. For example, if I know that I have something to do at Companies of Jamaica, I know within myself say, Kim, you need to do your bookkeeping. Kim, you need to ensure that you have all the legal documents that when you go, you're good to go because you don't want to waste anybody's time type of thing. That is it for this video. I hope that you guys found this video super helpful. When I'm not over here on YouTube, I'm on TikTok and Instagram at _Kimberly.o_ where I post business, travel, and food content. So if that is something that you're interested in, go ahead and follow me on those socials. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The secret emoji for this video is gonna be a bank because we're creating bank accounts and business wealth. Don't forget to follow my business page at authentic.sh by Kim on Instagram, where you can shop beard care, skincare, and hair care products. Can't set the doll, never put in on. Bye.